Hey everyone, it's Dave from Dave's Dark Side Depot. We're just going to start this up. Check this out here. All right, we're all set here. We're going to do two videos tonight. We're going to do a build video on your biceps and forearms, and then also we're going to do the talk about the Book of Fett finale. So a couple things here with the depot. I checked out the build videos that we're having done to just post up on the forums, on our pages, and they're looking great. I should have at least one or possibly three for tomorrow to be hooked up. So that's gonna be really cool. And then we'll be editing them, adding on to stuff, and then I'm gonna do a full lineup of a full build that I'm working on. Almost finished filming the whole thing, and then we have to edit it and then go through. But the build tip videos are going to be a separate one from those. That'll be a full build, so you'll see me start with a we'll say a bicep. You'll see me start with the bicep, go through how I cut the fronts, backs, everything, not just doing some quick tips on how to go through it. That's what these are for. So you can just do a quick reference. You may have everything that you think of, and then maybe just a tip that gives you something a little extra or changes it up on maybe one thing that you had a little different or whatever you want to use with it. So that's what the tip videos are for, and then the build video will be a complete video of how I do them from start to finish, as far as putting all the parts together, and it'll be broken down the same way. It'll be biceps, another video will be forearms, and then we'll have a couple other ones such as thighs, calves. So it'll be broke up, so when you guys go to look at them, you won't have to search any part of a long video. So it'll all be broken down. You can go right to the section that you're working on. That's usually how everybody builds them. They'll go on and they'll do them a couple couple pieces at a time, and that's what we look for. Dan, I got your stuff. You guys, I got held up last week. I had some personal things I had to deal with one of my family members, so they were in the hospital for a couple days. So I got behind a lot with that, going back and forth and doing things for them. So I'm back up and running. I should have everything as far as all the kits that were supposed to go out this last week. I got them all scheduled for Wednesday pickups, so I should have a couple of the builds going out, and Friday all the backpacks that you guys had been looking for will be going out. So I'm really happy with the backpacks. Thanks for everybody that was looking for them and inquiring about them. We had a bunch. I got one of the pack 5s done, so I just want to show you that real quick, and then we'll get going. This is the pack 5. I just have to put the bottom canteen on, but that's your top box. Everything here with the radio, the lab tube, motor tubes, everything. They'll all come with the whatchamacallit, the red canvas on them, and I just got to put the strapping on this one. But that's a finished pack 5. I'll have the pack 1 done hopefully next week. I'm just finishing up the middle bottle, and then we should be done with that. Everything else is built for it, so that'll be it. With the backpacks, when you always order them, let me know whether you want decals, just the radio, the dial decal, or full decals on everything. I'll do whatever one you guys are looking for, so we'll take care of that. And then I also have, I believe, I have one heavy weapons trooper pack that I finished up for the last run that's available. So if anybody's looking for a heavy weapons trooper pack, that's the one you see up in the back here. That one right there. This is the Sandy number 3. This is the heavy weapons trooper backpack right there. Those come with the hydration packs that are built in right into the oil pan. The door opens up on the radio, magnetic and Velcro closure on it, so you can use that as a storage box. And also, somebody had asked about the storage boxes for the Sandy radio. Yes, I can do those with the magnets. I'm just figuring out how I gotta just set them in and what the depths are for the magnets. But yeah, they'll be available for that. It'll probably be an extra $10 on the backpack charge just for the radio, for that mounting system, for the radio packs for the Sand Troopers. So that'll be it. But you know, when you guys check out the page on the Facebook, see what's on there, and then contact me first before you order anything. They're a little bit, they'll be cheaper if you go through me rather than on the Facebook page. So let's get started with the biceps and forearms. So with these are one of the harder ones, I think, to do, because your body flexes the most with them. So when we put these on, you'll get them just like this from me. They're already pre-cut across the way the molds are, and then I'm going to have to fit these to my body. When you fit them, this is the easiest way to do it is just to borrow somebody for a little while. Okay, what I mean by that is you stand there and let them put these on you, okay? Once they're on, take your painter's tape, and all I'm going to do is make a couple pieces on this on both sides. So once I've got this on the person, I'm going to sit this in here. Now, when you do go to check the measurement, don't just do it with your arm hanging down, okay? When I do the builds, I add a little extra for when your muscle flexes. But make sure that you do, when you're standing there and you're doing it, make sure that you turn your bicep to flex the bicep. You want to have your elbow bent and go up. Okay, part of the armor will adjust for that. That's what this increase here is for. So that will help. But just make sure that when you flex your bicep and make sure that it fits. So once I'm in, this is what I'll have. Okay, this will be on the person just like this. It'll be up around the bicep, and I'll have it. All right. Now, all I'm going to do is from here, take a pencil and just make a straight line while it's still on you. All right, have them make a straight line just like this. Okay, all I want to do is take where the crease is and make a straight line down, and I can do the same one on the other side. What that's going to do is I've already fitted it, and now all I have to do is take the tape off, and I can pull it off of the person. All right. If I try wiggling this down or it catches anything and the tape pops, then I just have to do it again. So that just helps for getting it off. Now, once I'm off, I'll go back to my lines here where that was, and I'm going to take some clamps and put them on the armor. So what I mean by that is just clamps that you're using to put your armor together. I'm going to put this on, and I'm going to clamp it where that line was. Then I'll take my tape and just pull them. Now, this will not be completely flush, okay? Don't worry about it yet, because once you cut them, then they'll butt joint together, and then you don't have to worry about it. Right now, you will have a little bit of a lip in here. Don't worry about it. That's all going to come off. What I'm going to do here is just, this was the old line here that I just did. I'd have that lined up on the inside, okay? Now I'm going to make a line centered down this. So just take a ruler. I'll look at it, make sure it looks about the center here, and I'm straight up and down, make one line. From there, I take that and I'll go underneath here and I'll make a second line on the inside, the front piece, what I would call the front piece of this armor. Okay. Now what that does is now I've got the lines on both of them. That's where my cut line is going to be. Right? And I'll do the same thing on the top. All right. So I got my lines on the top also. When you're doing these, honestly, I suggest, especially if you're doing them yourself, do the fronts, then do the backs. All right. There's no reason to do all of them at the same time. You don't have to. So what I'm saying is I'm gonna cut these down. I'm gonna put a strip in. So I'll do this one here. I'm gonna cut this one out so you see what I'm talking about. But I don't have to do the whole bicep at once. So I'm gonna take it and do it in 2 steps. So right from here, I'll cut these out. Now always on the corners, go nice and easy, do little snips and work yourself around them. And then straight up the line. There's going to be a little bedtime here tonight with this while I'm doing stuff. If you guys have any questions whatsoever, if you're watching, you have any questions, let me know what they are. I'll keep poking at that and seeing what we have. Now on the inside, all I'm going to do is take those 2 lines that I made on the edges, just like that one and that one, and just put 1 line down to each. All right, just connect the dots. That's all I'm doing. Now, what I want to do is, once I'm done cutting this out, I don't want to get rid of those 2 pieces of plastic that I just cut out. All right, what I'm going to use those for is for the inside glue strips on my biceps. Now this is a 4-part build on these. So what I mean here, I'm just going to sand these down real quick. Sand this one down real quick. And what I want to do is I want to check and see. Oh, hang on 1 second. These I did the back yet already. This one here is all set up. I had measured this one out. I lined everything. So what I'm going to check here is to make sure that my lines are all going to you don't have to be exact. They don't have to be completely flush with each other. But you want them as close as possible. You'll never see any of the gaps or anything in them because you're going to be putting the cover strips on them also. So you got an inner, I would call an inner cover strip and an outer cover strip, or an inner glue strip and an outer cover strip. So what I'm going to do here, now I've cut these down, I've got these pretty well lined up here. I'm going to put my tape back on them, put another piece of tape to hold them, and basically the same exact way I'm doing these is how we build the forearms. Nothing different. Okay, and now this is how I'm going to be able to glue it together. So what do? I'm going to go back and take one of the pieces that I just trimmed off of here. I'm going to cut the edges off because they won't fit with them on. And then what I'm going to do is glue one side of this, and these will go in here. Once I glue that, I will put them right in the middle of what's in here. Put my clamps on the ends, so you can see that's the inner glue strip right there. Covers right down the middle of that seam, and I will put magnets, rare earth magnets right down here. Okay, I'll let that dry for probably about a day or two, and then I'll do the back side of this. Okay, and then what I'll do, once that's done, then I strip all the glue out of whatever extra glue came out of the seam. I'll take that off. I'll do a quick little sand, just maybe a 5mm, it's real small, just over top of the seam, just to smooth it out a little bit, and then I take my cover strips and put them both on. The cover strips you can do both at the same time. I like doing this one here first, especially if you're doing it yourself, because you don't want to mess these up. So I've got this one done. Now what I'll do is, once this is off, I can take these off. I know this is set. I will put this back on and make sure my lines line up properly, so something didn't move when we were doing the first cut or the first measurement. All right, so I don't have this. Once this is good again, I'll take that back off, line them the same way we did the front, and then we'll cut them, put the inside cover strip on, let them sit, and then put the outsides on. Now, as far as snaps, let me go back to one. The cover strips for the outsides of the biceps, we do at 15 millimeters. 15 millimeters front and back. And then when you also see mine, when you get these, you'll see the indent here, the spoon indent, thumb imprint, whatever you want to call that. That goes on the left side of the body. All right, so that'll be on the left side. Now, as going to the snaps, you'll get one right up in the back. Okay, this is the left. You'll get one right up in the back there, and it goes right into the crease here. That dent going out, that's where it goes. Now the second ones are going to go to the front. So this is my left. So I'm going to be on the front here, and what they're going to look like is this right here. Okay, now there's a couple different ways of putting your strapping in. The originals, they glued them. They just put a 2-inch black elastic strap in, glued it, and then glued them to the forearms. I do the snaps on everything, so I'll do a double snap on the biceps, and then that will go to a 2-inch elastic, and then attached to the forearms, which gets the same exact 2 snaps. Okay, so it'll get 2 snaps on the front of the forearm. So that's the biceps in a short nutshell there. The forearms, I'm not going to build one set, but I'll go over everything with them on the tips. They are the same exact build. Okay, put them on the forearm, do the same thing. Take tape, put them on the front, put them on the back, take it off, line everything right up. Forearms, couple things with them, right? This is what they look like. I already got the lines put in there for the cut lines of these. The bottom, you get these forearms just like this from me. Okay, already, like I said, everything that I give you is already pre-cut. You just have to finish it. You have to put it to your body size. You have to trim some of the extra return edge, because I give you a little extra with it. So, a couple things do not get a return edge. The bottom of your shins don't get a return edge on top of your boots. Your forearms, these come off also. So all you're going to do is just cut straight around the edge on the forearms, on all 4 of them. Do this before you even try to measure them up and put them on your body, because it just helps, especially with the measurements. Because once you do it, if you did it before that with that, you cut them all off, it's going to be much bigger than what you need. So just cut them all off. You just want to have smooth, okay? The outside ones, this is an inside one. Mine, the right ones have the indent down. The left one does not. Okay, it's a smaller dent going down. People ask about the outsides, which is which as far as the indents go. For the outside indents, 12 are on the right, 11 on the left. Okay, they will match up correctly, so you really can't mess them up. But as far as the forearms go, 12 indents for the right arm and 11 for the left arm. Okay, so once I have these on, this was my cut line, or this was my trim line there. If I can get that in focus right there. So this would have been on the person. I measured straight down. I'm going to cut these off, measure this. Here's my top lines for it. Go straight down, and that's what I'm going to butt joint together. I do the butt joint on these also. Some of them, what I do is, depending on how you want it, the originals are they're closed on both sides, both ends. I will put Velcro on the back side sometimes, or most of the time, for people that want it, because it just, for me, it's a lot easier to put them on and off with your gloves. You'll never see the Velcro on them because the cover strip goes across the back, so you don't see it at all. It's hidden, and I just like that, the way they fit and they look like that. So that's it for the bicep, or for the forearms. Oh, excuse me, no, a couple more things. Remember, 2 snaps. I put 2 snaps on the front of the forearms. You can put one and put a 1-inch elastic on if you want. But also, when you cut these out, okay, you're going to want to trim this little extra bit of stuff out. When you do it, if you're good with a Dremel, use it. If you're not, don't. As far as anything else, you can use a little file. Cut it out with the scissors as much as you can, and then use a file to trim it. You can use an X-Acto knife. Just be careful with everything. I'm just going to do a quick one on this. So this is the indent that I was talking about. This is what it will look like when you get it. That's what you want it to look like when you're done. Okay, so you just trim that all out. And that's the part that's down by your wrist. Okay, that's the part down by the wrist there. Now the top part, you can cut these down a little bit. Most of the time I leave a little bit of a return edge on it, very small. I don't have a lot. The originals didn't have it on any of them, as far as the biceps or the forearms. So you can trim all that out. You can trim these down like I have here. These are almost down to nothing. They have a little bit of a return edge on it, probably about 4 millimeters or so, 5 millimeters tops, 3-4 millimeters. And I do the tops quite a bit also. I'll trim that right out. And most of the top is just for comfort. So especially even the bottom, you don't want that. It may look really neat that you have like this big thick armor, but it's not. The originals didn't have it, so that's what we try to go by. As much as the original movie armor was, that's what we strive for. And for comfort wise, believe me, you don't want any of those return edges. You will get what they call armor bites in there, and you don't want to do that. So just trim them down, and then you're all set with it. So if you guys have any questions whatsoever on the forearms or biceps, I'm going to have this video up shortly on the page. We'll cut out some of the blank spots. Everything's getting edited. It looks really good. I'm really happy with them. So I'll have all those up shortly. Hopefully within the next 2 weeks we'll have all of them up. So that's going to be really good. You guys can just use those as references. If you have any questions whatsoever, remember, hit me up on either Facebook Messenger, the Dark Side Depot page, email me at davesdarksidedepot@gmail, or hit me up on the phone number on the page, so you can grab everything there. But yeah, that's everything as far as what the biceps and forearms in a nutshell, a quick one. If you have any other questions about anything, let me know, and we'll go from there next time. We'll be doing another video probably next weekend, maybe Sunday night. We'll be doing another build video. I'm not sure which one we're going to hit on. So if you guys have any questions whatsoever with any of the builds, just let me know, and we'll throw that in that video there. All right, everybody have a good night. May the force be with you, and I hope to see you on the next video. Thank you, Al.